everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Gina of Gina Renee RN Budgets, and I have a new type of video for you today. Today, I plan on sharing the tips that I use that helped me to be able to lose 30 pounds in just 30 days. Let me put a little disclaimer out there. I am a registered nurse. However, I'm not a physician. I'm not a nutritionist. I'm not a weight loss expert. I'm simply sharing my experiences and the things that I did which yielded the results that I have shared. Today, I'll simply go through the tips and a bit of a description, but I will continue to have a series of videos weekly that will go into further detail of the tips that I'm sharing with you today. I will, however, give you enough information to get started as soon as tonight. Let's get to these tips. Let's go back to September 16th, I believe was the exact date. I had a doctor's appointment, and I was going to the doctor because I wanted to ask him for a referral to an orthopedic doctor because I was having a lot of pain in both of my knees. Of course, you know, when you go to the doctor, first thing they do is weigh you. And I was just like outdone. We had to have the dreaded talk about the one major thing that would definitely help me out with my knee pain is to lessen the weight that they have to bear. And I knew that, of course, as a nurse, I knew that before he even said it. So I made up my mind that day that I had to do something. So I have 10 tips. I have notes over here, so please forgive me. But I came up with 10 tips that I think will help you the same way that they helped me. All right? So bear with me, stay to the end, because my number one tip will be the one thing that you can do if you don't do anything else on my list. And you may not lose as fast as I did, but you'll lose something with just that one tip. Number 10, the first thing I think is invest in an air fryer, a kitchen scale, something that weighs your food. It doesn't have to be anything major because you don't eat things that weigh a lot. So a scale that measures like in ounces, probably up to a pound, would really be fine. And then, of course, if you don't have already, measuring cups and measuring spoons, all right? And then when you hear some of the other tips, you'll kind of get to know why I'm saying that. All right, number 9 is when you're shopping, even if you're going to get something that you've already purchased that's in your pantry, your refrigerator, your freezer, start to read your nutrition labels, okay? They are there for a reason, and you can learn a considerable amount about the foods that you're consuming and putting into your body just by simply reading the labels. For me, and for weight loss, the most important things that I look at is the total carbs, carbohydrates, the dietary fibers, and also the portion sizes, okay? The reason I look at total carbs and dietary fibers is because you get your net carbs from subtracting the dietary fibers from your total carbohydrates, and that yields your net carbs, okay? So that's the number that you're gonna work with if you're counting your carb intake, all right? And of course, portion size is very important because when you start to read your labels and you start to read what the actual portion size is for what you're about to eat, then you might be surprised that you could possibly be eating a double or triple portion of that particular thing without even being aware of it. So that's why portion sizes are so important, okay? Number 8 is white flour, white refined flour. Flour is not normally white. Flour comes from wheat. Wheat is brown. So in order for them to make it white, they bleach it, they refine it, okay? And it's not good for you. It's loaded with carbohydrates. So of course, think about what do you make with flour, bread, pasta, things of that nature. You want to try to omit that from your diet. It's a difficult thing to do. So one baby step that you can take is to replace it with the stuff that's brown, the color is supposed to be. So those are the whole grains and the whole wheats and things like that. They still have a lot of carbs, so you still want to minimize it. But these carbs, because they're in their more natural state, they tend to raise your blood sugar a little bit slower than the white flours that just shoot your blood sugars through the roof. The higher your blood sugar is, the more insulin your body needs to control it and bring it down. We'll get into more details in further videos, okay? Next, replace sugar with a sugar substitute or something sugar-free. Sugar is just another form of carbohydrates, okay? And when you eat excess sugar or carbohydrates, your body probably does not burn off or require that much carbohydrates for energy. And what's left over, basically in a nutshell, gets stored as fat in your body, okay? So that's why we want to minimize the carbs. Next, definitely start looking around to find healthier snack alternatives, okay? It's natural for our bodies to want to snack, but just again, start reading your labels and finding healthier alternative like nuts, something that doesn't have carbs, pickles, cucumbers, you know, raw vegetables. Fruits, you have to be careful because fruits have a lot of sugar in it, hence they're normally higher in carbohydrates as well. All right, so that's number 6. Number 5, definitely increase your fiber intake, okay? When you start to minimize or lower your carbohydrate intake that your body is normally used to consuming, okay, you will kind of confuse your body for a little while. It happened to me. So number 1, you want to take it slow. I wouldn't go from 300 grams of carbs a day to 0, okay? That's almost what I tried, and trust me, you don't want to do that. You will put your GI system into complete shock and it will shut down, okay? I won't get into details, but it will stop, okay? Stop. So definitely take it slow, decreasing your carbs, and definitely increase your fiber. And you'll do that by introducing more of the whole grains and things like that. You might even have to take a fiber supplement, all right? Number 4, be careful to only decrease your carbohydrate intake to about 50 grams. People that do the keto diet keep their carb intake probably lower than 20. I think that's too low because there are a lot of vitamins and electrolytes that our body requires that you probably get mostly in carbs. So you'll be at a deficiency in those vitamins and electrolytes very quickly if you try to minimize your carbohydrate intake too drastically, okay? So about 50 to 100 is still going to be a big reduction if your body is used to consuming 300 grams of carbs a day. And if you really start reading your labels and adding up, especially if you drink soda, if you start adding up how many carbs that you eat in a day, it could be much more than that, okay? So that's number 4. Number 3, we talked about the breads, but you also, a lot of people, as soon as you start talking about how to lose weight, do you have to exercise? Do you have to diet? Well, you may get away with not exercising initially. Eventually, you will have to and you'll want to. Dieting I wouldn't call it a diet, but you definitely are not, logically thinking, gonna be able to consume the same foods that you were consuming that had you overweight and feel like you can consume those same foods and start losing weight. Okay, that only makes sense. So the sweets, the junk food, chips, candy, things of that nature, you're just gonna have to kind of, make a decision that is your health more important or you satisfying a junk food crave more important. And that's totally on you. Number 2, we're getting there, okay? We're not at number 1 yet. Number 2 is the sugary drinks. One 20 ounce of Mountain Dew has, I want to say, 65 grams of carbs. That's no food, nothing, no junk, no sweets, nothing else. One 20 ounce bottle has like 65 grams of carbs in it. So there could be days I would have 3 or 4. I'm just being honest. So think about that. Plus food, junk, candy, okay? So no more sugary drinks. You got to give them up. You got to give them up. It's really not optional. There's no real way you're going to lose any weight and continue to consume sodas especially. But that also includes juice. Juice is bad also. It's also high in carbs. Of course, the sports drinks, if you can get like Gatorade Zero or something like that, that's fine. And then the energy drinks, they probably have more carbs than a Mountain Dew. Okay? So if that's your thing, you're gonna have to do without it. I went strictly water only, okay? Just water, because I don't like diet, I don't like sugar-free, I don't like the taste of it, the aftertaste of it. So I strictly went with water, all right? And the rule of thumb is, in order to lose weight, you should be drinking half your body weight in water. I'll give you an example so it makes sense. If you weigh 200 pounds, half of 200 is 100, so you should be drinking 100 ounces of water every day in order to really hydrate your body and lose weight. When you start doing my next tip, you need the water to flush your body and rinse away the fat cells that you're going to be burning, okay? Now here's the biggie. This is my number 1 tip. If you don't do anything else, you'll still lose weight. You won't lose as much, but it will make a difference. Intermittent fasting. This is the holy grail, literally, of weight loss. It takes some getting used to, all right? I do a 16-8 fast, which means I fast for 16 hours and I eat during the 8-hour window, all right? For me, the easiest way for me to do that is I stop eating at 6 p.m. By the time it's probably time for bed, I could just go to sleep, and then I'll sleep a good 8 hours of the fast. So by the time I wake up, I'm already burning fat. I'm already in ketosis, okay? Because what happens is when you start to minimize your carbs, all right, your body only has so much to burn. Well, you still, even in your sleep, you're using energy to be alive, okay? So there'll come a time when your body has exhausted all the carbs available. And when there's nothing else available, it needs something for energy. So it'll start to burn fat, your excess fat cells. It'll start to burn fat for energy, okay? And when you get to that point, it's called ketosis, okay? So by the time I wake up in the morning, I'm already in ketosis. I probably went into ketosis probably not too long after I went to bed. Everybody's body is different, and it depends on how many carbs you end up consuming during the day. But for me, I know for a fact I probably go into ketosis not too long after I go to sleep. So when I wake up in the morning, for me in my mind, I know I'm burning fat, so that encourages me to not break my fast and just continue to burn more fat. So I skip breakfast and I make myself only water during your fast, and I go till 10 o'clock. 10 o'clock in the morning. Once I make it to 10 o'clock, I'm kind of enthused that I made it to 10, and usually I'll try to just distract myself and make it to 11 because that's just an extra hour of fat burning, okay? So when it's time for you to break your fast, you want to break it slow. Some things you don't want to do is start binge eating because you've been fasting and you're hungry. So you want to take it slow, maybe have something light initially and then progress, but you want to stick in that 8-hour window, okay? And I'll get into more details in another video. All right, initially, when you begin to start some or all of these things, your body will naturally give up a lot of fluid at first. And so you'll see that you'll have kind of a higher weight loss initially. I went back to the doctor 2 weeks after my first visit and I was down 19 pounds, okay? So I know I could see it because normally when you lose water, you kind of don't notice it on a regular basis that you might be a little swollen or a little puffy. So you'll definitely see the difference. But after you shed the excess water is when you really start to see your body kind of get lean, okay? So I went back to the doctor 2 weeks and I was down 19 pounds. I went back, and I'm going for weigh-ins at this point. I went back 2 weeks later and I had lost another 11 pounds, which was a total of 30 pounds. I started September 16th. I went to the doctor and I had probably eaten already, and it wasn't anything like what we listed today, but I decided that I was going to start intermittent fasting that night. So I stopped eating that day at 6 p.m. So the day I weighed in and I was 30 pounds lighter was October 15th. So from September 16th to October 15th, I lost a total of 30 pounds. Right now, it's been another week, and I think I lost another 7 pounds in that week. And I'm probably approaching 40 pounds down now. So what I've done is I've started to add in exercise. This 30 days I didn't exercise because, of course, I said in the beginning, my knees were really bothering me. So I wasn't really able, but I'm feeling better now to at least go out and walk and things like that. The best time to exercise is while you're in ketosis. While you're already burning fat, go ahead and exercise and burn even more, okay? Don't exercise within 2 hours of eating, because then you're just kind of spinning your wheels, because you're just gonna kind of burn off that meal you just ate. It's really it's effective, but not, you get what I'm saying? So the best time to exercise is while you're in ketosis. So what I do is I start, when I get up in the morning, I have to walk my little baby, Memphis, and now we just take a longer walk, and I kind of try to walk a lot faster than I used to, okay? So those are my 10 tips to get you started. Weekly, I'll do a video that'll probably, some tips, I'll lump them together and go into more detail. Certain parts of it will be very important, so I might keep that one tip as one video just to kind of give you more information on why it's effective and how it works and what it does to your body. So you guys, come on, join me on this journey. You guys will keep me accountable, and hopefully I can help keep you accountable, and we can do this thing, okay? We can do this thing. So subscribe to my channel, turn on your notification bell, all right? Give me a thumbs up. Number one, if you're proud of me. 30 pounds in 30 days is, not easy, okay? And don't forget to tune in to my video every week. My other videos are related to budgeting, so feel free to peruse my channel and check out the other things that I do, because I have also, with my budgeting community, found a way to link the two together where we're gonna lose weight and save money by losing weight. All right, so thank you if you made it this far in the video. I hope you did, because you got my #1 tip, and you can start. It's late tonight and I'm not sure when I'll post it, but whenever I post this, you can start tonight. Just count from the time you stop eating. Don't eat again for 16 hours. You can do this. If I can do it, let me tell you guys, if I can do it, you definitely can. And we can encourage each other. So you guys, I wish you the best. I hope you tune in for my next video. And you guys check out my picture. I might post another picture at the end so you can kind of see the difference and what a big difference those 30 pounds made. And the fact that I know I was burning fat, because I can see when you do intermittent fasting, it targets those hard areas, especially as women, like the inner thighs, the belly, the back rolls. Yeah, it'll get to that type of stuff. That's where it starts to burn the fat. So you guys, and stay tuned and have a good evening. Bye-bye.